Bedheads, welcome to an episode of Cigar Chat. I'm your guest co-host, Cigar Surgeon, broadcast around the world, AFRN Network. Thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks very much for our podcast listeners who are not listening live. I'm here with my regular host, Logan. Logan, where are you, man? You look like you're in a cave or in a dungeon somewhere.
I am at the Park Sheraton Hotel in sunny Chennai, India.
Why are you in Chennai?
I got work stuff over here, man, and it's not cigar related. But we're in the middle of monsoon season. So let me just say, monsoon season is no joke. Like, it rained and flooded the streets yesterday, and it took me 2.5 hours to go 7 miles.
Man, I mean, I know people like to give you a hard time for being a bigger guy, but I'm pretty sure you could walk faster than that.
Dude, hey, but I'd have to fight off mosquitoes and puddles of water up to my belly button. I can just sit back in the car, the driver drives me, and I get to smoke, and it's the only way to go. And dude, 7 miles, man, I could probably walk like probably 3. Well, it'd be close. It would be quite a good race, I think. But
you'd have incentive because if you didn't get back to the hotel soon enough, the mosquitoes would carry you off and eat you in a ditch somewhere.
I mean, they need to start pumping weights if they're going to carry me off, because they need to get in trouble. But anyway, that's enough about my Indian exploits for now. Let's talk to our very special guest.
So we have a very special guest, Santana from DeCrossier Cigars. Santana, how's it going?
Doing very well. Thank you for the special part.
Now, I really dig the poster you got behind you. It's really showcasing the product. Where are you dialing in from? Where are you calling in from?
What was that again?
Whereabouts are you located right now?
Oh, I'm in Miami. This is my office, and this is the banner right behind me.
Very nice. And what are you going to be smoking tonight for the show?
I've been smoking the Imperial Class Vintage Robusto.
Tasty. And if I understand correctly, Logan, we're going to be giving away quite a lot of DeCrossier cigars at the end of the show, are we not?
Well, maybe. It depends on how people treat me. If I keep seeing all these comments about how I look like Darth Maul and crap like that, it's over. But yes, we'll be doing something in the After Dark segment. Undisclosed number of winners and or products, but we will discuss it here later.
I mean, to be fair, man, you kind of look like you're about to make me a deal about a horse or take me off into a dark alley and maybe off me.
Hey, man, I wouldn't mess with me, man. I wouldn't mess with me because I have been known. I don't even have any. I don't even have any weak quips, dude. It's like 5:15 in the morning, man. Like, all right, Santana, tell us about DeCrossier. Tell us about you. Tell us how you got started with your company in the industry.
Okay, me. Hard to talk about me, so let's talk about the company. I founded this company in 2006. The name of the company is Pure Aroma Cigars, Inc. in the U.S. The PAC is as an abbreviation. And then we created PAC SA in Costa Rica, which produces all the cigars that we do. Then from there we import the cigars and we age the cigars in the United States. I founded the company in 2006, and it's been quite slow for us. I mean, I've been producing batches of different brands. Like in 2007, we introduced the Crozier limited edition 5 years, and we actually went to the IPCPR in 2008 to introduce the brand, and it's been quite a journey. Now we have about 5 brands, and we're doing well.
That's cool.
Now,
So, go ahead, Sergeant.
I was just going to say, Santana, you mentioned you don't like to talk about yourself, and I get that because we've met you at the IPCPR. You definitely come off as a classy, humble guy, but I mean,
and you give her hugs too. They're very nice and snug.
I can talk about myself. I mean, people want to know my background. in the tobacco part of my life, I have a past in tobacco that is uh, quite uh, articulated, I can say. As you guys may know, how my country works. Hiding private property is almost impossible. I mean, almost not. It is impossible. And good tobacco place in Havana. Cigar stuff, humidor making, and stuff like that. Then I immigrated in 2000. I mean, 2000, 1993. Immigrated. Then I lived in Sweden for a couple of years, and then I immigrated again to the U.S. I started a trucking company. I've been doing trucking for quite a few years now, and that's how I made my pennies. I can get this passion going through, which is the premium cigars deal that I'm doing right now. So that's
Where
pretty
did
much.
you immigrate from? Was it Costa Rica? Where did you immigrate from?
I went from Cuba to Sweden,
Okay.
and then lived there for a couple of years. The Swedish, they didn't want us there, so I decided to come to the States. That's
Really?
finally-
The Swedes didn't want Cubans in Sweden?
Yeah, back in those days, they decided not to give us the status.
Huh.
And
Hey.
then I had to flee. Well, I had to flee from Cuba, and I had to flee from Sweden. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Swedes, man. Anyways, okay, so you've got kind of given us a layout. You said something interesting. You asked, it's kind of been a slow, not a slow start, but you've been taking things slow. Has that been a function of, just slow, kind of continued growth, methodical growth, or has it been you've been just slower than you wanted to because you've got other businesses going on?
Yeah, when I mean slow, is because I had another business. Now that business is sold, and so you're gonna see my face in the cigar industry a lot more. You're gonna see myself being involved a lot more. But it's been slow in terms of sales, distribution, even putting the factory together. I mean, me and my partner Jose, we've been through a lot. We've been gathering the tobaccos that we needed, bales, so we can produce what we need to produce. And in my case, I have a different way of processing my cigars. I don't want my cigars to be done and then be released in the next few months. I don't know if you guys noticed that on all my blends. What I'm doing now is what I wanted to do. I'm importing a lot of sticks into the US, and we're going to start aging it for a minimum of 6 to a year. So, it all depends on the blend and how they react in the aging process. And that's the thing I want. I want to be able to rotate my inventory so I can release aged cigars. That's going to be my niche, aged premium cigars. So to get to that point, it's been slow in terms of accommodating myself to get that type of business going. So,
Okay. So here's a question. So obviously you're Cuban by birth, and I don't know crap about Cuban cigars, but I do know this. One of the big differences between the way Cuba does tobacco and non-Cuban tobacco works is that, like Nicaraguan, they'll cure the tobacco, they'll ferment it, and they'll go put in pilones for like 3 years, 2 years, and they get it very aged up. Where Cuban tobacco, they age it, they put it in pilones for very low amount of time in comparison, and what they'll do is they'll let it age with, in the rolled cigar, right? And that's the whole thing with Cuban cigars. So is that the model you're trying to go for, where are you aging your tobacco and fermenting it in pilones before it's rolled for a shorter time and then letting it age, much like Cuban cigars? Or is it normal non-Cuban tobacco that you're just aging for a really long time after that?
yeah, I know what you mean, Logan. Cuba, actually, they do the process very well. Cuban tobacco is processed well. I mean, in terms of priming, in terms of fermentating, that type of prime, they say the heddles and stuff, they do it. I mean, they do it by the book. They rotate the inventories. That's the way I learned it because I saw it. And my model, we do grow one crop that we just use for this wrapper. I mean, that's Jose's job over there in Costa Rica. And in that process, we are not doing any fillers with that crop. So we buy tobacco from different companies, and we put those tobaccos to age. I mean, if it's a ligero, it has to be a minimum of 2 years in bales before we even put it out. Okay, we buy fermented cured tobacco. We don't buy uncured tobacco at all. And then the cigars are being rolled with cured tobaccos. Depending on the priming, it's all cured. Right? I don't believe in putting raw tobacco to let it fermentate in the cigar, to put it in the box, and in time it will fermentate. I don't believe in that stuff. Tobaccos, they need to breathe, they need to release the toxics. The process needs to be done based on basis. That's what I know, and I will continue to do it that way. What I mean by aging is this. We roll all cigars in Costa Rica in batches, depends on the brands, and I import the masters into the U.S. Then I put it into a big humidor and we age it. High temperature, humidity, and that's how the process takes place. And then it goes into packaging, banding, packaging, and then we leave it for another 6 months in boxes, and then we release it. You notice it. Once you open a Ecoshare cigar box, you're going to get that smell, especially from the cedar and a good aged premium tobacco. You're going to get that from that box. I mean, right now you're in India, right?
Yeah.
Texas.
You bring some of the good smells for me?
Yeah.
Because all I smell is raw sewage. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's not like that. I smell mosquitoes, though, and it's starting to get light outside. But anyways, yeah, no, okay, so that makes total sense. So you said you were aging some of your cigars, you said 6 and 10 years after they've been rolled?
We possess some tobaccos that are harvested in 2004. All right, we have some good stuff that is being, because when I met my partner Jose, it was 2005. Mm-hmm. When I met him, he has a big stack of good stuff from 2004. And we still have it. We use couple leaf per cigar, it's really good. In the Golden Blend 10 years, you will find that tobacco there. So I put the number on the box, and I put the number of the band so people know, because it's true. I know it's kind of odd to put numbers in blends, but in this case, we have it. So some Visos and some Ligeros in this Golden Blend 10 years possess tobaccos.
Nice. Surgeon, I think it's time for a break.
That is exactly right. That takes us to our
break. Did I call that?
You called it right on the nose, brother. Right on the nose. You might be in India and you might be half asleep, but you nailed it.
Hey, man. Hey, I could do this. Hey, this is a 101st episode, man. I could do this stuff in my sleep. All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Everyone will be back after just a few moments of radio silence. All right, everyone, we're back. Cigar Chat, Armed Forces Radio Network. Heard around the world, live in all types of different places. I'm Logan. Our conscious Canadians here instead of Rob, thank God. And we have Santana from DeCrossier Cigars. You heard the last segment, we kind of talked about DeCrossier and how they age their cigars and kind of the process that they use. So, John, in this segment, let's get into a few more in-depth questions about the specific cigars themselves.
Yeah, actually, before we do that, I have a question about because you mentioned, Santana, that you're bringing in all the cigars from Costa Rica, and we've got a number of audience questions surrounding that, but before we jump into those, what's that process like? Like, is that a huge hassle importing the tobacco from bringing the cigars over from Costa Rica? What's that like bringing it to the U.S.?
What do you mean, a hassle?
Like, is it a challenge with a hassle?
Is it a
Yeah,
hassle?
difficult.
It is a hassle.
Well, pretty much. I mean, we pack. Um, the way we pack it, we do half wheels. You know, we have 50 in a muscle, and we have boxes. I mean, we learn along the way not to lose too many units in the process. We importing everything in airplanes, and it gets here in like a couple of hours, so they're not exposed to any heat or any cold weather if it's cold. And then I go to I mean, my broker gets released in the airport, and we import them. I have my own permits to import my own cigars. I don't really depend on any importing brokers or anything like that. That's the good thing. So it's not a hassle for me when it comes to import. And then the unpacking system that we have here, we have big cedar boxes that holds about 700 of them, and I release all of them in those boxes, and we put them into our humidor. And then after the time being in the aging process, we band them and we package them. And if you go to the deposition headquarters in Miami, actually, they're off. And I mean, the reason I'm doing this is my process. All my boxes are being made in the U.S. So specifically because the wood, I only use Spanish cedar. The cedar that I'm using is very unique. In my opinion, it benefits the cigars tremendously. I don't use any cellophane. I don't believe in cellophane. In my opinion, cellophane kills the process of aging in every cigar that you put them on. I mean, those are my beliefs. I understand the industry adopted the cellophane to protect the cigars, uh, different types of storage have different type of humidities. But, in my case, since I'm a small company, I'm going to continue non-cello for quite a while.
Okay. Well, I mean, one of the big questions that I certainly have, because I tried the El Forte, I loved it. I think I scored it a 91. It's still in the top 10 cigar for the year.
Say Frenchy, Le Fort.
Le Forte? Okay. Le Forte. So I've already mastered it.
Le Forte. That's how you do it, right?
So
You gotta
I
wave
butchered
your
the
hand.
name, but I love the cigar. It was really, really enjoyable. And as Logan can tell you, I don't hand out 90s very often. I have to be really impressed by a cigar, and I mean, it's a great cigar. That's all I can say. It's an absolutely fantastic cigar. But my question is, what sort of directed you to do the rolling and tobacco from Costa Rica? Because everyone's talking Nicaragua, Dominican. What is it about Costa Rica that took you to Costa Rica for the tobacco?
To be honest with you, Costa Rica is where my body is. This is where my friends is. I met my partner Jose. His name is Jose Ferrer. We did this together. Two families, one vision, which is the Corsia cigars. And that's what he is. That's what I met him. That's what the factory was. It's a very small factory. We basically started out at his house, okay, back in those days. Now we moved into, I mean, for the last 3 years, we bought a huge house, and it's a mid-sized factory with 15 pairs. Literally producing about 15,000 books every month. Nothing massive. We can roll, entubado, cabeza montada, coming back to, I mean, to try to answer your question, I don't want to be disrupted. Yeah, I'm with my friend. I'm with him. I'm gonna die with him. It's a tremendous amount of loyalty between us. We're gonna do this until the end. I'm not planning to move into any new factory. I'm not planning to open my own factory in Nicaragua. I'm gonna stay in Costa Rica, even though we have a high cost when it comes to labor and some taxes that we pay over there. That's why he feels comfortable. That's what his family is, and I'm going to stick with that. Regarding to tobacco in Costa Rica, Costa Rican tobacco. From what I know, it's never been the greatest region to grow. I mean, to grow tobacco. So what I can tell you is this: this rubber that we're growing over there is a nice hybrid, and it went well. It's all strong and healthy, and it's doing fantastic. It's a ton of flavor on this wrapper, and we work with the farm. We said about a couple of hours from San Jose, Costa Rica, and it's going well. It's going even better. We're planning to do 3 more varieties that I have, and hopefully those varieties hold well and healthy as well. We use tobacco from the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Ecuador, but our process is there because that's what my family is, and that's what I'm gonna stay. Maybe in the future, if we grow and we decide to move into Esteli, I doubt it. That would be our decision, especially Jose's decision, because he's the one handling the factory. I'm gonna be the one handling the process of aging, packaging, and distribution in the United States. That's gonna be basically my job and the blending part.
So there's some really great audience questions here about a lot of things. I think we've covered some of them. But CMB Rose has a question about the influences in your blending and sort of what got you in the industry. And I know I did some research before the show. Your great-grandfather was in the tobacco industry in Cuba, is that correct?
You're breaking up a little bit. I'm having a hard time to hear you. Can you repeat that again, or you be straight out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it was your great-grandfather that was in the cigar industry, is that right?
I mean, oh, my great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather?
My G-brother. Yeah. My great-grandfather is the original Crozier. These guys, they immigrated into Cuba from France. The name of his father is Felix Crozier. And then there is a Pancho Crozier, which is Francisco, the one that you can read on my website. Those guys, they have money, okay? And big farms in France. Felix has some problems, I believe, with his family. They plan to immigrate to the U.S. Somehow they ended up, in Cuba. And that's how that part of the family, got into our bloodstream, I would say. Yeah, Pancho Crozier did. He used to own some sugar canes and stuff. He used to. I got my buddy here saying, "Don't knock on the door." And yeah, Pancho used to own some sugar canes. We owned a couple of fields of tobacco. We don't have a lot of information on our family. It's a diary that I read from my grandfather who had it, and it's not big information about that part of the family. I mean, for what I know, there was 2 marriages, and all the stuff that I know is just family insights. But in regard to tobacco, we believe that the guy was extremely in love with this crop, and somehow I believe that he passed it into, through genes, butchering, that passion. But I'm just taking that as an inspiration. The real reason of my Crozier name or my brand is my father. My father. Yeah, my man. That's the real reason. My father is an economist, very intelligent man. He made a lot of money for the Cuban government. Right now, he lives with me in Miami, and he's penniless, okay? Literally no money. The guy is very honest. All the convictions and the education that I had it from him. And everything that I do is on his name. My trucking company was Trans Crozier. So now the brand is De Crozier. I just want to put something on his name. And the name is kind of catchy, though, I would say, because my last name is Santana Diaz. I'm not a Crozier. I'm just getting the French type of taste on the blending side, on the French part, I would say. And you might know because you're from Canada. You got some influence there.
Yeah, but he's not an Eastern Canadian. He's like over in like the Texas of Canada.
Yeah, I'm definitely in Western Canada, and it was evidenced by my terrible French earlier. My Francais is not very good, but I definitely have a lot of respect for French culture, French language, French cuisine. Absolutely.
Yeah,
How many people?
Family. We have my grandmother. My great grandmother was from Haiti on my mother's side. She was completely black. My grandmother was, that lady married a Spanish guy, white guy, blue eyes. My grandma is a mulata. My mama is a mulata too. So I got French, Spaniards in my bloodstream. So it's a big composition of genes consolidated into what you're seeing right now. Okay, so in some cases, I believe that has a big influence on my taste. We got a little bit of everything, Then we have the Cuban thing, This is our life. We grew up with this. I remember my days in the bar. We grew up with this stuff, So it's normal for us, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I've only had the pleasure because Logan's keeping all the cigars for himself, so I've only had the chance to try one. But I'm hoping that.
Whoa! Incorrect. That's not how it works.
Is that not how it works?
Huh?
You went to the fridge and get something to eat?
No, man. I went and got a snot rag because I got some congestion going on, and this is going to be embarrassing. And you know why I wear a 2X Santana? Because I'm eating candy at 5:45 in the morning. Because there's nothing else to eat because breakfast isn't open. And, man, my blood sugar was getting low and I was getting angry, man. So, anyways, that's why I wear a 2XL. That's neither here or there. Man, I got a little bit of cold going on, man. The weather's changing over here. But anyways, continue. Don't worry about me. I'm just here for a laugh.
So Santana, we'll get another question in from the audience before we have to take our next break. And as Logan rudely doesn't put himself on mute there.
Whoa.
So that actually takes us right to a break. Maybe we'll do is ask a question right after the break because we've got some more questions about Costa Rica, maybe about the coffee. So maybe we can take a quick break here while Logan blows his nose, and we'll be right back.
Right back.
All right, everyone, we're back. Thanks very much to our AFRN listeners around the world. Thanks very much to our live listeners, and thanks very much to our podcast listeners. With Santana of DeCrossier Cigars, talking a little bit about the history of DeCrossier, talking a little bit about Santana, talking a little bit about Costa Rica. And one of the questions we have in the audience from TJH here is about Costa Rican coffee and pairing. Do you when you're blending, when you're coming up with these cigars, do you do any kind of pairing with coffee? Do you do any kind of pairing at all?
This is a secret.
Water
and tea with no sugar.
There you go.
I said you clean your palate, and that's it. You gotta be very patient. You gotta take your time. It takes days. Because depending on the day, sometimes you smoke a cigar and it's not. The strength is different. And you get up next morning and oh, okay, I got it now. It happens to me all the time, especially in Costa Rica because of the elevation. My blood pressure goes crazy, so I gotta take it easy. When it comes to blending, it takes me sometimes a month to finalize one blend because I'm very picky. I don't know if you can see it on my work. The reflection of me is in my blends, and it takes time. It takes time. I'm not the kind of guy who is gonna start mixing stuff and try the same type of blend and different types of options in the same day. At least I don't do it that way. I ask the guys to roll something for me, different binder, different visos, and I put the rest. And then, in a week, I jump on it. I puff probably one cigar a day. I'm also an inhaler, so it's quite easy for me to identify. But I take it very slow.
We're at in Costa Rica.
San Jose, Costa Rica.
Oh, no. Well, so interesting fact. Not that anybody gives a crap. But I've been to Costa Rica 3 times and actually got married right outside of Liberia, there in Cocoa Beach, 3 years ago. Well, one more than that actually. 3 years ago and a couple months ago. But yeah, I like Costa Rica. It's a great place.
Costa Rica is a nice place. I mean, you can breathe nice water. You can breathe a nice clean air. It's a lot of vegetation. And the weather is fantastic. It's not that warm. It's kind of cool. And it's a wind. You're always going to have a wind going through, which is unbelievably fantastic. I mean, to me. I picture the wind for the wind.
Yeah, I would agree. Arnold was great. We went up and saw Arnold. We stayed in the hotel on the backside of Arnold. What? You liked it? You don't like Arnold?
The humidity in Costa Rica is
it's beautiful.
It's an A+, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. And I love all the volcanoes, too. Arnold was super sweet. It's like one of my favorite places in the hotel we stayed at. But anyways, that's enough about Costa Rica. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, other than maybe you. Surgeon, ask some questions. Sorry for interrupting. Continue.
No, it's all. I mean, I could sit here and listen to Santana talk about tobacco all day. I have a question. It's more of a personal question, and this is maybe a Homer question, but what of your lines, which cigar line are you the most proud of right now?
Oof. Well, believe it or not, this is my first creation. It was back in 2007. It was a limited edition due to the wrapper that we use in these cigars. The wrapper in these cigars from Ecuador was a Rosado wrapper. We got our hands in like 5 cases, translated into probably 12,000 cigar, 15,000 cigar per box, I would say, when it comes to the wrapper. And this blend was my first blend, actually, in Costa Rica. It was a mild and medium blend. And since I'm an inhaler, I enjoyed this blend tremendously. So if I have to be proud of some blend that I believe that it was my best, I would say it is the Golden Blend 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And I mean, for you, where do you want your cigars to be in terms of strength? I mean, it seems like you have a lot of body, a lot of flavor in your cigars. Where do you prefer them to be? Where is it ideal for you?
My preference as a smoker is a medium, mild to medium. I'm a mild to medium type of smoker. Once in a while, a medium to a full body, that's for me, but not in a daily basis. My daily smoke is a medium stuff. I'm not a big fan of power. I'm a big fan of flavor and sweetness and good aromas. Doesn't mean that the port has a strong blend. That's for me sometimes, but it's not the daily smoke for me. Since I'm an inhaler, I can say that proudly. Why not? Yes, I put the stuff in my bloodstreams. I put it in me.
Logan, you got any audience questions we can ask?
No.
Chat room's been going crazy there.
Well, I know. I mean, there's a lot of questions. I'm just trying to figure out which one that. Well, one person asked is that where can you buy the Crossier? Where's the best place?
Okay.
Is there any online outlets, or is there humidors that ship, or B&Ms that ship?
An online gateway to get the Crossier cigar would be MikeCigars.com. It's an old company in 1945, 54, company in Bay Harbor. They do a lot of online stuff. You can find it there. If you're in Miami, you can find it in 4 places. If you're in Chicago, you can find it in about 5 places. If you're in Texas, you can now find it. If you're in California, you can find it in Big Cut. That's what the name of the store is. It's done in LA. We don't have many accounts. We don't have many accounts. But the good thing about our accounts, they order a lot. So,
Got it. Okay.
I would say it's something really good is happening. It's just the beginning of our branch, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. I think that this is kind of your first forte, like, full kind of into the masses, right? So, yeah, that makes total sense. So, Surgeon, ask some questions, man.
All right. Shoot.
I have a question about your packaging because, one of the things that we noticed that, Catfish was mentioning, I was mentioning, Logan was mentioning, even, Rob was talking about your packaging. You mentioned you get the boxes in the States, but who's coming up with the design for the packaging, the design for the boxes? Is that you, or do you have a team? Or how does that come up?
When it comes to the design, the boxes, formats, if you see, all my boxes have some basis when it comes to design. Golden Blend 10 years is a format of boxes, a type of box. When it comes to graphics and stuff, I have a guy who works with me constantly. I'm pretty much a big part of designs and the elements that we use in our designs. I'm my box maker. Miguel Cabrera, who owns Millennium Wood Boxes. He's a personal friend of mine. And I drive him nuts. Okay? Anything that I want, he makes for me. Anything that I want. Anything that I ask, he understands that I'm passionate about everything that I touch. Okay? And I want the best. So he got that wood, which is the best wood, in my opinion, to prepare my cigars. I want my babies to sleep with that stuff due to the wood. It's a type of wood that does the trick. It's a signature of the Crucier cigars.
So we have a question from Jason Myers specifically about your Imperium class vintage Maduro, which sports a Costa Rican Maduro. Jason's never tried a Maduro wrapper from Costa Rica. How do you think the Costa Rican Maduro wrapper, the flavors, or like how does that differ from, say, a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro or a Mexican San Andreas Maduro?
Yeah, this variety, like I said before, we called it Habano Especial. It's a hybrid of those two seeds, and it has a long process. This flavor-wise, to me, is authentic. It's different than Mexican San Andreas or any other type of variety being grown in different regions. It's a unique type of tobacco that's being grown in the mountains, about 4,000 feet from sea level. It's a mountain tobacco, actually. It is grown in mountains. I know that sounds crazy, but that's the truth. And we don't get a lot of it. Probably get 100 kilos or 1,000 kilos sometimes. And out of one plant, we get 3 that we can use for the wrapper. The rest of it goes into binders. And what we use, it goes into some fillers. But as a variety, this is the one that I recognize as a premium type of variety we can use, and anybody can use.
I noticed with the Forts, it comes in a variety of different vitolas. I actually smoked it in the Gmail, which is the 55 ring gauge. But you offer that in Robusto, Genio, Poland, Trabuco. That's a pretty wide selection of the colas. What is the sweet spot for you for the colas? And what's driving the choice? Is that a personal preference or is that market
Yeah,
choice?
it's a personal preference. Yes, we carry the Bullet, which is a 58 by 5 1/8 in the Imperial Class Vintage, and we carry that in the Fort. In terms of percentages distribution of the blend, in my opinion, the 58 fits my demand when it comes to blending. To blend it. The balance that it creates, the two ligeros perform well, especially in the Fort. The reason why we choose the 16 or 58, the 60 ring gauge, is because I wanted to fit a couple of ligeros in that blend and find that balance. The Robusto, we use the Robusto in every of our blends because the Robusto is a good size, one of the greatest sizes. It sells all day long. It's a quick smoke. Just notice that our Robusto is 4 7. It's not a 5 inches Robusto, as you usually see. But yeah, formats, ring gauges do the trick. It all depends on what you have. You got to know your tobaccos. When you pick your sizes, get a specific plan. You choose based on the ring gauge because you have to distribute the percentage of the tobaccos into that ring gauge. That's a big part of blending. It's all about sizes and length. Length is a big factor as well. The reason why all the Lefort and the Imperial Class Vintage they on the range of 5 1/8 is to the headers. The headers that we place in those tobaccos are very curly, they're small coronas. That's why you see all the sizes. You're not going to see big sizes being used in small headers. Doesn't make sense. That answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, I enjoy the sizes. I'm normally not a big ring gauge guy, but I agree with you that I've done a little bit of blending myself. I'm terrible at it, but obviously that's the complicated factor is getting the right blend, and you can work with more tobacco leaves in a larger ring gauge. Do you see yourself coming out with a Lancero, or is that just not something that's in the future?
Yeah. A lot of people ask me that question. Get myself here. Listen, if you look into the Golden Blend 7 years, which is being discontinued, totally discontinued due to the wrapper. But if you see the follow-up on the Golden Blend, which is the 10-year, you're going to find 5 traditional sizes. If you see the development of all of my brands, you're going to find a 50 ring gauge, a 47 ring gauge with social. You're going to find a 49 ring gauge in a double Corona. You're going to find a 52 in our torpedo. You're going to find 54 in our Sublime, which we call Payment. Those are traditional sizes that I always want in place. Out of tradition. I'm always going to defend, I'm always going to be defending my Cuban traditions. You're always going to see those sizes. But we went out the box. And then we have in the Imperial Class Vintage, we also have Robusto, but you're going to have a 58, a 60 ring gauge, and a 55. And so we have all those sizes. We're planning for December to release a batch of 44 ring gauges by 5 1/8, which is we call Coloniales. We plan to do a 48 ring gauge by 6 7/8, and we're going to do a 46 Corona Gorda by 5 7/8. I'm doing those because people are asking me for those sizes. They want to see a decoration on those sizes. Many of these sizes will not carry any ligero, but we see. We're going to release it hopefully in December in a very unique type of packaging that I'm keeping a secret until the time comes. And we have another brand coming up. Can you show me that box over there? Okay, I'm doing this new thing. This is going to be our first cabinet selection release. I don't know if you can see if I can show you the logo.
Yep.
This is representing the new fusion of me and my partner Jose, owning everything that we do in paper right now. So we pretty much decided this time for us to come together into this. There's going to be a new fusion. It says Flor de Crozier, and it says by Santana and Ferrer, which is his last name. And it says San Jose, representing Costa Rica. We're going to do 3 sizes in a cabinet of 20 cigars. It'll be a medium type of stick, a lot of sweet next to it, and woody. We're going to put it in there without cellophane. This is the new thing for us. Price point into these babies are going to jump into $725, $750. So this is going to increase our sales. This is going to be fantastic. That's a new fusion, I call it. It's a new fusion. It is going to carry our names, And the floor takes place because now we have our own flower. Now we have our own flower. See, you can put flour in brands when you grow some tobaccos. It means you have your own flour. You don't put just flour because of tradition, And I know that I'm going to get a lot of comments on the logo. I'm going to amplify all of that. It's a format. Okay, it looks like some brands that you know from Cuba. And yes, I'm doing this in purpose. I love the format, the framing of this logo. It represents where we're from, who we are. I'm not copying anything. This is made consciously. And letting everybody know that yes, tradition is going to stay. We're going to keep it. Right?
I love it.
All right, Logan, you want to wrap our AFRN segment here?
Yeah, so everyone, thanks for tuning in. Santana, really appreciate you coming on and taking the time. Next Tuesday, we're going to be with CLE Cigars in time and place, and I'll still be in India. I don't know why my mic thing keeps getting all jacked up, but Santana, really quick, tell everyone where they can find you on social media and your website, and how they can get a hold of you if they have any questions.
Yeah, you can go to our website, thedecrozier.com. You can sign in for the newsletter. You can send me any messages, any questions, anything that you might think is important for you to know about us. And social media, we have pretty much everything. We have our Facebook page. You can hit some likes. We have a contest coming up. That is, when we get 1,000 likes, we're going to pick a random person, and we're going to send them some T-shirts and pipe packs and stuff like that. When we get 2,000, we're going to do something else, something bigger. Just leave it at that. And yeah, Twitter. I'm constantly posting stuff in Instagram, linked to both of them, because I'm really busy. I don't have the time to jump into Facebook and start loading stuff, And yeah. Let's wrap it up like that. I wish I have more time because I just warming up. I'm getting comfortable with Logan and you guys. The new thing for me, all this filming and being exposed. But I've been getting comfortable. And you're going to get a lot more stuff out of me when it comes to tobacco stuff. There's a lot to talk about. It's an endless conversation about fermentation, processing, different type of crops. It's a lot of stuff to cover in every show. So if you invite me again, I will probably be more relaxed in terms of.
I think you did just fine.
Memorizing stuff, I'm a normal guy, you know. I'm inspired by my stuff. Hey, randomly, stuff come to me where I feel comfortable. You know, I don't plan interviews. I don't write stuff. You know, whatever you see is this. This is what I'm at. This is what I am. You know, simple guy.
Exactly. Well, so Danny, we really appreciate you taking the time coming on and talking to us. So you can find DeCrossier Cigars on social media and DeCrossier. Go to their website, DeCrossier.com. Check them out if you have any questions. So we'll be back next week with CLE Cigars. Until then, go eat some curry.
So we're going to be off in 5 seconds?
And we're back, motherfuckers. We can cuss now and do whatever we want. Oh, fuck! It's early.
We off the air? No.
Yeah, well, we're off the AFRN segment, so we can say whatever we want.
But we're still
you guys
live.
want to see sunny Chennai, India? You see that?
Woo! Got rain going on over there.
I know, man. I know. You see all that humidity and those bugs? Yeah, it's a fucking jungle. It's legitimately. So anyways, let's pick some winners. So we're going to do it old school like we've done. The cigars are being well taken care of by my wife, and everyone can, sing her praises because she has been well trained on when I travel to how to take cigars out and to properly handle them. So you can thank my wife there. You're not going to be receiving cigars that have been setting out for 2 weeks once I get home. So with that being said, email me, Logan@CigarFederation.com, DeCrossier in the subject line, full name, mailing address. You do not do any of those. You are disqualified, and I will be picking 7 winners. And we will do some additional contests when I get back, some podcast stuff. Actually, yeah, we'll pick 7 winners tonight. We'll do 7 winners tonight. We'll do 1 podcast winner. And then that'll leave us some giveaways to do once we get back for some random stuff and some stuff to promote DeCrossier. So email me now, and I'll announce the winners for the end of the show. So, John.
Sir.
What's up?
Man, I am out here in Canada, and I am freezing my nuts off. I am freezing my nuts off right now. I mean, you guys...
How cold is it?
It's not crazy cold, but it's... The problem with humidity in the wintertime up here, this is not the best place to smoke cigars. I mean, you smoke cigars down in Miami where it's nice and it's humid, or India where it's hot and it's crazy humid, or Texas. That's an enjoyable experience, but you can see my hoodie's up. I'm a Canadian, I'm not a Nazi, but it's cold, man. It's becoming unpleasant. This is the time of the season where if you don't have a place to smoke indoors, you're smoking in somebody's car, you're smoking in somebody's garage. It's not a fun experience. I love
how cold is it out? Fahrenheit-wise, because Celsius is for stupid people.
Well, so our daytime temperature here, we're at 74, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So it's nice.
Oh, dude, that's like beautiful.
It's beautiful. But at nighttime, right? So basically, when it hits 6 o'clock, we're dropping like 5 to 10 degrees every 20 minutes. So, like right now, I'm sitting at about 51 degrees, 48 degrees right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I find with if I take out a cigar, if I take a nicely humidified cigar, perfect temperature, and I take it outside right now, there's a very good chance that the wrapper will crack just from coming outside and just being lit.
Potentially.
So, if I'm gonna smoke a nice DeCrossier, I need to find a nice heated garage. I need to, have some rum, maybe warm up a little bit with some rum or some coffee, because it's just bad news. Bad news.
So, what's your opinion on that, Santana, about people who live in fucking godforsaken places like Canada, where it's so damn cold? I mean, do you think the weather really affects cigars that much instantly once you take them out of the humidor?
Yes, it does. I mean, your flavors change based on what type of humidity you have, and especially your temperatures. Okay, it affects it. You want to be inside 45% of humidity. That's a perfect deal to smoke it. And you want to have a 65 or 70 or 75. You're going to have an enjoyable smoking time. I mean, if you take the cigar in the cold, it's not going to be very nice. And if it's too humid, it's even worse. You don't want to be smoking outside. That's not a good thing to do. Besides, you're not going to be enjoying the aromas as you're being indoors. It affects this, it affects the flavors, of course.
Yeah, there's no way that I'm getting that kind of temperature here anytime soon. I'm actually taking off to Cuba in 3 weeks, and part of it is because it's nice and warm there, but part of it is I just want to smoke cigars for a week and not have to worry about the temperature.
Yeah, that's a killer. That's a killer because you're not going to be enjoying the cigar. I mean, you're not going to be degustating your flavors. You're going to be being worried about you'll be shaking. Be like, damn, I'm shaking. So you're not going to be concentrated. You're just going to be smoking to 35 degrees, so 15 probably. You're not going to be enjoying it. Not a relaxing environment.
So there you go. I got to move down to the States. I got to move down to Miami or maybe Texas and enjoy cigars down there. None of this Canada stuff.
Yeah, you're not allowed to move to my neck of the woods. We don't allow Canadians.
Canadians in Texas.
We're kind of like the Swedish. We don't allow Cubans. We don't allow Canadians out here. We don't allow your kind, surgeon. We don't allow your kind in Texas.
Where's the love, man? Where's the love?
I'm just kidding, man. So, I mean, I'm getting these winners lined up. Surgeon, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, take out here in a minute. So if you want to continue to talk to Santana and do it, we can, or we can call it good. It's your call. You tell me, because that'll guide how we need to do this. If we ask one more question and then we announce the winners, or what?
Well, how many people do you have emailing in right now? Like, do we have enough?
I've got more than enough.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's just do it. That's how we roll. Let's just pick some winners and get some DeCrossier cigars out to some of our Fed heads.
Okay. So basically, you are going to stay on after that, or what?
Oh, we're right up against the clock here, brother. So.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know you were going to be a little Canadian baby. Get too cold. You continue the conversation.
I'm talking all night, but by the time we're done, popsicle, man. I'll be a popsicle by the time we're done.
Surgeon's a popsicle. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Here we go. I've got our winners. Are you ready for this?
Number one.
Okay. Here we go. Let me get it. I got it saved in a different window because I need to. You gotta save it, because I gotta keep them in another folder because people always email me like jerks, like 3 days after, and ask, "Where's my cigars? Where's my cigars?" And I'm just like, dude, you gotta calm down, bro. All right, here we go. And the winners are, in no particular order: Jason Fletcher, Eric Schnecke, Garrett Fry, Ryan Angel, on top, Gary Myers, and Jim Fumo. You will all be receiving some DeCrossier cigars, probably a nice little smattering of all wins that Santana has, so DeCrossier has. But please realize that you probably will not get them for probably at least 2 weeks, unless you have my wife packing up and ship it to you, which there's no way in hell that's going to happen.
So there you go. Don't go harassing Logan when the cigars are. They'll be coming, but it'll be a couple weeks. So you gotta marinate. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient. They'll be coming.
I don't stiff people. It might take a couple weeks, but trust me, they always get there. True Fed heads know that it's coming. When Logan says it's coming, it's coming. That's all I gotta say.
Santana, I just want to say personally, thanks very much for being on the show. Like I said, I really enjoy your cigars. It was a real pleasure meeting you at the IPCPR and seeing your booth. I think your booth blew us away. Your passion for cigars, I mean, that's really obvious. I think all of us saw that, and we were pretty jazzed up to try your cigars. And really appreciate being on the show, and I know that Logan can have you on again.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. It was a great interview. It was great talking to you, Santana. And yeah, man, just really appreciate the giveaways. Once we get them out, I'm sure you'll see a bunch of people enjoying them and getting feedback. So, you guys hear that? Woo, 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 woo. It's a ambulance driving by the hotel.
Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you, Logan. Thank you,
No
John.
problem, man. No, man, thank you. Thanks, we appreciate it. So next week, like I said, we'll be back on Tuesday, special night, because we're accommodating Rob. Actually, no, we're accommodating me, because I'll be flying back on Thursday. But with CLE Cigars, Fedheads, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, yeah, Cigar Chat episode 101 in the books. Have a great night, guys.
God bless you. Thank you.